Okay, topic is graphing a linear equation in slope-intercept form. I'm going to show you two different methods. Okay, so the first thing you have to know is what is slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is when you write your equation as a y equals. So it's y equals mx plus b. Okay, the m is the slope of your line, and the b is the y-intercept. That's where it goes through the y-axis. Okay, so I'm gonna give you two methods. Method 1, I'm gonna graph y equals 2x plus 4 using a table. Okay, so I'll make my table. I'll have my x values. I'll have my equation, and then I'm trying to find the y. So since the numerical coefficient of the x is a whole number, it's 2, it's not a fraction, then I should use those go-to points, which is let x be 0, let x be 1, let x be 2. Okay, so you're substituting 0 in for x, then 1 in for x, then 2 in for x. So to find out your y. So you would get 2 times 0 plus 4, which is 0 plus 4, which is 4. So your first point would be 0, 4. Your second point, you would get 2 times 1 plus 4. So 2 times 1 plus 4 is 2 plus 4, and 2 plus 4 is 6. So that is your second point. Your third point, you would get 2 times 2 plus 4. So 2 times 2 plus 4. 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 plus 4 is 8. So your third point would be the point 28. So then you would make a coordinate plane. You only need 2 points to graph a line. You don't need 3. That third point is a checkpoint, and so we'll look and see what we get. Here's the x-axis, here's the y-axis. So my first point is 0, 4. It says don't go right or left, just go up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. My second point is the point 1, 6. It says from the origin, this is the origin, go right 1 up 6. So right 1 up 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's that second point right there. And the third point is 2, 8. So it says from the origin, go right 2 and up 8. So right 2, and this was 6, 7, 8, up 8. And so those nicely fall in line. And then you would draw your line, and this line represents every ordered pair, every XY pair that works in the given equation. Okay, that means if you could find any point on this line, like let's say you could find this point, that's going to be a fraction, because see how it's in the middle of one of the squares? But if I could get the x and the y for that point, it's going to work in that equation. That's what that says. So that's graphing using a table. Okay, so now I'm going to take the same exact equation, but this time I'm going to graph it using slope-intercept. Your y equals mx plus b. So this is method 2. And I'm going to graph using the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, so I'll go back to that original equation, y equals 2x plus 4. So I know that this plus 4 right here. This is going on the y-axis. Okay, that's my constant. So it's going on the y-axis. That's my y-intercept. That's where I begin. It's my b. Okay. And then this number right here, the coefficient of the x, is the slope, and that's my rise over my run. Okay. So I know slope's a fraction. So I've only got the number 2. So to make it a fraction, remember I can make anything a fraction by using a 1 under it. So my slope right here is 2 over 1. Okay, so I'll draw a coordinate plane. So here's my y-axis. And then here's my x-axis. Okay. And so now I go to the y-axis to 4. So that's going to be right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on the y-axis at 4. And now I'm going to use this slope right here to find another point. Rise either goes up or it goes down, and run either goes right or it goes left. So since my rise is positive, it's positive 2, that means it's going up. And since my run is positive 1, that means it's going right, because the positives go this way and that way. Okay? So this tells me that I should go up 2 and then right 1 from my B, my beginning point. So I should go up 2 and right 1, and now I find a second point on my line. So I'll draw this line, and we are going to compare it to the line that I have up here. Okay, so let's compare these two lines. So these are the points that I got from my table. So let's see if these points are on this line that I just drew using method 2. So is 0, 4 on my line? Well, 0, 4 is right here, so yeah, there it is. Okay, so it's 1, 6 on my line. So from my origin, I go right 1 up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. Is 2, 8 on my line. So that says to go over 2 and up 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There it is. So these two lines are exactly the same, and I graphed them using 2 different methods. You can either use a table, or you can use y equals mx plus b. Okay, so I think you guys get what we're doing here. I'm going to do another one, and this time I'm going to do one that has fractions in it, so that you can see what to do with fractions and negatives and all that good stuff. And I'll do with both methods. So this time I'm going to graph y equals negative 2/3 x minus 3. So I'm going to do the slope intercept method first, which was my method number 2, slope intercept, because it's faster. I like it. So here is my B. Okay, that goes on the y-axis. That's where I begin. I begin at the B. So let's draw our coordinate plane. So here's my x-axis, here's my y-axis. So I'm supposed to begin at -3 on the y. So down 1, 2, 3, there it is. Okay, so there's my B. Okay, so now I just have to find my slope, and I know my slope is the numerical coefficient of the x. So my slope, we use m for that, is -2/3. Now this is the biggest hurdle for students. They don't know what to do with the negative. I'm going to tell you right now, just let that negative hook up with the number in the numerator. And so rewrite it. So now I have -2/3. So now my slope says my rise is -2, which tells me to go down, and my run is +3, which tells me to go right. So from this point, I should go down 2 and right 3, and I will now land on a second point that will fall on this line. So here is the line. Okay, so again, any point that falls on this line makes that equation true. Okay, so I went down 2 and right 3. Okay, so let me go back and I want to show you how to put it in a table, okay, so that you practice with your fractions. So I get y equals negative 2/3 x minus 3. So here I go with my table. Here's my x and my y. I'm going to put negative 2/3 x minus 3 here. So my input, that's what I'm putting in my machine. My output, that's what I'm getting out. So I'm putting in x's and I'm getting out y's. Okay, so this time, because we have a fraction, check the denominator. And so instead of being able to use our go to 0, 1, and 2, I can't do that this time. I need to choose 0, 3, and 6. So I look at the denominator. The denominator was 3. So I need to choose multiples of 3. The multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on. Okay? So I chose the first ones, 0, 3, and 6. So now I'm going to substitute in. So negative 2/3 times 0 minus 3. Negative 2/3 times 0 is 0. So 0 minus 3 is equal to negative 3. So there's my first point. My second point, negative 2/3 times 3 minus 3. Remember that these are fractions, and so now you're saying 3 goes into 3 one time. So you simplify. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2, then minus 3, and negative 2 minus 3, that's money, people. That's negative 5. So that is the point 3, negative 5. And then my last point, negative 2/3 times 6 minus 3. Remember to put it over 1. And now, how many times does 3 go into 6? 2 times. So now you simplify. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. And then don't forget that minus 3. So there's money. I lost 4, I lost 3, I lost 7. So there's my third point, 6, negative 7. And now I can go back and check to see if these are on this graph. So is the first one 0, negative 3 on the graph? So 0, negative 3 is right there. Yeah, it's on the graph. Let's see, I'll do them in purple. It's on the graph. Okay, is 3, negative 5 on the graph? So that says from the origin go over 3, 1, 2, 3, down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it's on the graph. Is 6, negative 7 on the graph? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to have to estimate 6 and then down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It will fall on that line. So now all of my points worked from the table, and I also graphed it using slope and the intercept.